Another wonderful Saturday evening, 5 p.m., and another wonderful session from Ratna Sagar, Reading X, Ratna Sagar. And we are really happy. We are so happy that, we get wonderful response for today's session. We have around 3,000 participants who have registered, teachers, parents, students, everybody. They have been quite enthusiastic about understanding how rote learning is different from learning by spaced repetition or learning by repetition. So with me, yes, I have a wonderful, beautiful colleague of mine, Dr. Priyanka. Hello, hi, Priyanka.
Hi,
How are you, Dr. Priyanka? How are you?
I'm very well, and a very good evening to you and to all the lovely participants, and a very warm welcome from Ratna Sagar and Reading Eggs.
Uh,
Really glad to be here.
and there are a lot of participants who are even yes, introducing themselves in the comment box, in the chat box. That's a wonderful practice. I encourage everyone to write their name, their school name, and they can just post it in the chat box, in the comment box, and that would be wonderful to know our audience. So please, you can put your introduction in the chat box. That would be excellent. And today's topic, Dr. Priyanka, is very interesting. Uh,
Yes.
Interestingly, because NEP 2020 has very specifically mentioned there that we have to discourage rote learning. Any example comes to your mind regarding rote learning when we were children? I mean,
I
I'm
think,
sure. Yeah.
yes, I think the very first example that comes to my mind when I think about rote learning is tables. We were made to actually just rote learn. Two ones are two, two twos are four, two threes are six, and so on and so forth. And oftentimes, there were many children who did not even understand what is two ones are two. So,
Yeah.
two ones are two. We were just repeating it. We were just rote learning it. So methodic. I mean, without any method, just like listening to that particular sound, I would say, because we couldn't decode what it means, and we were just rote learning. And very after a very long time, and we got to know that what it actually means. That is a simple repeated addition or multiplication, you would say. But that is one thing that I really, and yes, I also remember that when we were naughty or we were not doing our lessons properly, then our teachers used to make us write the same sentence or the same word 100 times.
Oh,
I think that was
yes.
rote learning, because we couldn't really understand what it was, but we were just repeating, but in a rote form, right? So, any instances that come to your mind?
But this is a wonderful thing that you have mentioned already, that agar punishment ki tarah they would give us, write 100 times or write. So rote learning itself is a punishment.
I agree completely.
And yes, this two one jar is something. So after
See what
so
I mean?
yes, yes. After so many years, many children, they when grew up, and when they the textbooks, the new kind of textbooks, when they were made, and it was written there, two ones are, and then they realized that, oh my God, my entire life I have been cheated on. It's like two one jar,
Completely.
two, two jar, four.
Yes, yes,
As well as two
absolutely.
jar, six, two jar, eight, two jar, 10, and so on. So
Right,
yes,
right.
rote learning. Even I have the weirdest memory I have is so many of the maths and science concepts. In fact, we used to learn the answers, and while learning the answers, it would just be like, blindly just mugging up, without even, there's no conceptual understanding. It's just that we are trying to, because I remember as a student, mathematics and the theorems. So literally, I mean, so many children would just try to, mug up the theorems without understanding it. So I realized that quite later in life कि theorems तो actually समझ के ही करने होते हैं. It is
Exactly.
without understanding, without conceptual understanding, you won't be, theorem is to be proved actually. So you would
Yes.
not understand, if you don't understand it, you would, forget. एक step भूल गया तो सब कुछ भूल गया actually. That kind of a situation it creates.
Right, right.
But sad to say that after such a long time, when this rote learning has been, and there is a difference between rote learning and learning through spaced repetition.
Right.
So learning through spaced repetition is something different. It is something which, mind is good and happy to do. And rote learning is without even understanding it, or without even, putting your brain in it. You're just simply trying to, memorize something. Like the sometimes, the actors, when they have to go on stage, they just memorize the lines. And so you could see, I mean, some of the actors, they don't have any emotions while they are saying it. It's like saying, get out, come here, give me water. It has no
Yes.
emotion. It's blank, and there is no understanding. There is no mind in it. So when the mind is in it and there is a spaced repetition, that is simply because that's how mind learns actually things.
Yes.
So when somebody told me plant can make their own food, and then I was introduced to maybe a video, and then somebody gave me that what are the components that are required for the plant to make its own food. And then again, I had to myself place some components there, put it down, or maybe make a green leaf or something. Then that kind of spaced repetition is different, and the
Yes.
mind remembers things which they keep doing continuously, but with understanding. So when for the first time someone ever told me that in Western countries people drive on the right side, including Australia. So they drive on the right side of the road. And here in India and Asia, we drive on the left side
Left
of the
side.
road. And I don't know how, but maybe because I was watching some of those television shows, and I could see, people driving on the right side, and that went into my head, so many times through repetition. And understanding that, and now I could easily distinguish that how is it driving on the right and on the left side, and what could be the experience for the driver. So experience, trying to put in these senses together, trying to understand it, and then spaced repetition would be is a better way. That is what even NEP has been talking about. Not learning only for the sake of getting marks, not learning for only the sake of passing exams. So when our entire system is exam oriented, marks oriented, we actually cannot blame either the students or the teachers or anybody else actually. It was because of it being exam oriented, marks oriented, and some sort of a competition that was not very healthy. And now the things are changing, because explicitly the NEP 2020 says rote learning is to be discouraged. Right. So some facts about how memory works and what is the difference between memory, short-term memory and long-term memory, and also learning by repetition versus the rote methods. So the idea, when we are able to quickly recall by simply repeating it without understanding, is rote learning. And that's how, repetition and rote learning, they are different. So by rote, we mean that there's no understanding at all. We have not understood it conceptually, but we are simply repeating it. And then someday we realize it is not two ja one, two ja four, but actually, it is two twos are four. So the human memory has the ability to encode, store, retain, and recall information. And that's what is, that's what the human brain does. It actually retains experiences in a better way than simply information. So जो fact based है, जो simply information based है, जब वो experience होता है, that stays for a very long period of time. So we are saying it should be including the senses, it should be experience, and then definitely the child would retain it for a longer time period. And so here is the model of human memory. So when something is only involving our senses, it stays for small time. When when the experience is repeated, it gets into short-term memory. And when the children do something on their own and they try to repeat it, that is long-term memory. So human memory for a very small time, as good as 1 second, or going into a lifetime memory, a long-term memory. Now, that's what even Sir Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy mentions. Because yes, we have been hearing about Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy of learning domains. The reason being, yes, NEP also has mentioned about conceptual understanding, critical thinking, and creativity. So जब तक conceptual understanding होगा ही नहीं, तो critic क्या करेंगे? What would be the critical thinking part? And जिसे HOTS कहते रहते हैं, I mean higher order thinking skills. So you cannot develop HOTS if the LOTS is not developed. So the LOTS and HOTS go together. Lower order thinking skills are the prime and important ones to build up the higher order thinking skills. Now, from here, let us look into and move to, of course, how spaced repetition works. So when we talk about spaced repetition, it means at proper intervals, when something is explained conceptually first and then repeated in different experiences in different manner. So in a different manner, when the same thing which is explained first, conceptually understood first, and then this serves as the memory function कि दिमाग जो भी चीज को बार बार देखेगा, that of course समझने के बाद वो चीज जो है वो अच्छे से long term memory में concept के साथ जो है वो बैठ जाती है. So something that has been understood conceptually, if the mind looks at it again and again and again, after conceptual understanding, that kind of spaced repetition definitely helps the child too. With there's no need to then mug up, because you have seen it, you have experienced it, your brain has experienced it through spaced repetition. You understand the concept very well, and that's how spaced repetition or learning by repetition is different. So there were times when flashcards were used for spaced repetition, but we're very happy, and I must say, yes, I think Dr. Priyanka is going to gift us the use of technology, how through technology that something where right now we are facing, like so many participants have been mentioning continuously कि stationery shops भी बंद हैं. So when the stationery shops are also closed, there's a lockdown of perhaps the lockdown would be lifted in many states from next Monday or Tuesday, perhaps. But yes, when there are no stationery shops also even open, how could we go and get some flashcards, or how could we try, spaced repetition? What is it and how can we try? So that is, I think, Dr. Priyanka would would happen to enlighten us on that. So it is space, repeat, and space. But first, understanding the the conceptual, understanding the concept very well. So that is how we say SRS, space, repetition, space repetition system. So we have, we understand the concept, have a repetition through a different manner. Again, look at the concept once again, then repeat it in a different manner. And of course, that's what I'm doing right now, even trying to, repeat myself after conceptual understanding that, yes, this is what it means, and this is what it aims to achieve in children, by completely, discouraging rote learning, the learning that is not going to help the learners. So this is, I could end with this thought that says, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but the ones who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So in fact, one of the simplest concepts that we had learned, I don't know, 20, 25 years ago. Now, there are new ways to learn it and relearn it. And just like phonics, right? Priyankaji, when we were learning the phonic sounds, it was so different. And now when we see our children learning it through spaced repetition, learning by repetition, and not simply mugging up, that's so much better, actually. That's absolutely wonderful. So, what is the gift that you have for us, Priyanka ji?
So yes, repetition, but repetition in a way that children enjoy, repetition in a way which is engaging, interactive for the children, and that follows the brain system, that follows the psychology of learning, so that children are thoroughly involved and engrossed in the entire process, and it's hands-on learning. And what better than Reading X? Let's just see how Reading X helps in doing away with rote learning and repeating the same concept. So every lesson we've been talking about, every lesson has multiple activities ranging from 7 to 25 activities, and how these activities are, they talk about the same concept, but in different ways. So yes, we are going to learn about that. And
wonderful.
So not just, and I do remember that, when you're talking about your phonics, and we're also talking about grammar, even the grammar concepts we used to just mug up, all the different rules of English, but actually all the rules have some logic to it, and we never really focused on that. But anyway, let me just show you that there are different activities focusing on the same lesson, so repetition in a variety of ways.
Before we show you all the capitals, let's see if you remember your letter sounds.
Click on F.
So we are, again, we are revising the letter sounds. So let's listen to the audio carefully.
Great!
Click on J. J.
Great!
Click on D.
So we click on that letter.
Great!
Click on S. S.
Great!
Click on V.
Right. So we get a hang of that, all the letter sounds are repeated, are just revised to one activity. And this goes on for a little while. And then let us see the next activity, which has, again, a different way of revising
Wheel
the same
of
thing.
words. Spin the wheel and click on.
So, okay, spin the wheel. I'm sure that children and adults, they both like to spin the wheel. So let's just spin it. Okay, so what do you think this is?
This is an orange.
Yes, it's an orange.
Oh, wow.
Let's spin again. And what do you think this is? All the participants can also participate, please.
Zebra. There are
Yes.
participants. Zebra.
Yes, definitely. more time. And we have, this is an easy one.
The participants are saying fish.
Okay. So if the participants notice that again we are trying to match the sound of the letter with the word matching, and this again goes on for a while, and let us see how the activities progress. And now the third activity, and again
Honeybees. Make your way back to the hive. This time your word is words.
okay, so now the honeybee has to hop on the flowers that has the word words. So okay, let's just hop.
Words.
I'm sure children are just going to love this, even the sound and such an attractive and colorful way. And if you notice that the child is maybe focusing on the words, but the child is also reading the other words that are revising the concept of letter sounds again, but in a very unique manner, but in a very different manner. And let me show you other activities. I just want you to see as many activities as possible in the limited time. So just giving you a glimpse of every activity.
Rhyming squares. Rhyming words sound the same at the end of the word. Cat and bat rhyme. Sing and ring rhyme. Click on ham.
Right. So again, we are focusing on the letter sounds. We are focusing on the CVC words. We are focusing on matching the pictures with the words. And what does from this picture rhyme with ham? And we can also listen to the sounds.
Ham.
Ham. Okay.
Clam.
Clam. I think, yeah. Squid.
Swam.
Swam.
King.
I think
So let's-
swam and clam.
Okay. Oh, yes,
Oh,
definitely.
wow.
Wow.
Ham, clam and swam
Swam.
are rhyming words.
Rhyming words.
Yes.
King.
King. So
Ring.
maybe ring
Ring.
and maybe
Swing.
Swing. Yeah. Ink. NG. Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
lovely.
Swing, ring and king are rhyming words.
right. So again, if we
Squid.
notice that even if we are doing rhyming words, we are still revising or repeating the concept of the sounds. And but in such a different manner, such visually appealing, and children are definitely going to love it. And moving on now. Okay, this looks very interesting. And of course, we have, different levels. So for every age group, the repetition is interesting. And after
Fishing
this,
boats. Put the fish in the correct boat.
okay, so we have to go fishing. Okay, so this looks like a bee. This is a
Yes.
hat. And this is a swing.
Swing.
And again, we have to put the fish in the boat. So, okay. Oh, nice. This is interesting.
Yes.
Again, oops, swing, and swing. Yes.
Lovely.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, the fish also said great.
Yes, it's great.
Right.
And as you can see again here, there are plenty of activities for repetition. And there is a book as well. So repetition does not necessarily have to be boring.
Word families
And-
for at, ap, an, am.
And again, we were doing word families. We were doing the sounds of the letters and the CVC words. So let's just look at the book as well.
At words. Cat,
Cat.
fat,
Cat.
sat,
Oh.
hat, mat, rat, bat.
Bat.
Yes. And words.
Ap
Ap
words.
words.
Tap,
And words.
am words. Jam, ham, Sam.
Sam. Yeah.
Right. So you notice that, how there are different activities, so many activities for,
Yes.
again, repeating the same concept. And I'm sure that the children are going to love the variety and also the spaced repetition that you were talking about, Shreyaji. that children get time to process what they are learning. And, again, if it is presented in a conceptually sound manner, children actually get the understanding, or they form the foundation of that concept. What do you think, Shelby?
Yes, this is very different. Rather than just blindly, without seeing anything, without any sensory recognition, saying two ja, 4 2 ja.
I
This
think you're
is
quite
cause
stuck. You're quite
no,
stuck with that. Yeah.
no, because that's the reality. I mean, for so many children, so many people, and so yes, this is wonderful because it shows there are pictures, there are I mean sounds, and this kind of repetition. I don't think any child would mind actually, and the gamified.
Yes.
I guess NEP even talks about
Gamified
gamification of gamification of learning for languages. And
Yes.
what best
Game off,
than
odd
reading
one
eggs?
out.
Yes. And I'm showing
Only two of these words start with the same sound. Click on the odd one out.
Now I'm showing a lesson which is applicable for little older kids, right? Because we were talking about just the letter sounds, and now children have to move on to further. So repetition is not only for younger kids, but also for the older kids. And see how again here,
Clean, crab, clap.
and the child has to guess the odd one out. So what are our participants saying? Which one should I click?
Which one should we click?
The odd one out. It's
Clean, crab, clap.
Crab. I can see a lot of
Yes.
participants typing.
Crab.
Well done.
yes.
Clap and clean both begin with cool.
Oh,
Okay,
cool.
so then-
And crab. Okay. Yes.
Only two of these words
So-
start with the same sound. Click on the odd one out.
Again, the odd one out. So
Scoop, scar, slip,
what are our
Slip.
participants saying?
Slip,
Yes.
slip, slip.
slip.
Let's see.
Well done. Scoop and scar both begin with sk.
Yes.
Lovely.
So again, these
Only
sounds.
two of these words start with the same sound. Click on the odd one out.
So again, a lot of blends, and similarly, again, let me show you that how the activities progress. And this is a very interesting
Rocket
activity.
launch. Use the arrow buttons. Crab,
Yes. And now we have to make these words. So a very interesting format. And let's just do this. So crab starts with, what are the first two letters of crab?
CR.
And what are the ending last two
A.
letters?
AB.
Commence countdown.
10.
And we have to
Track.
make this rocket launch, huh? So we have to do it quickly.
Oh,
And
then-
now this is track. So first two sounds, first two letters,
Oh,
and
TR.
then
ACK.
ACK. Let's do it quickly.
9. Truck,
Truck. Okay. So and here it
8.
is.
P,
And now it's letter P and P.
Lovely.
7. Cube,
Okay. So like this, of course, I'm sure the rocket will definitely get launched once we get all right. But again, if the participants notice that there are such wide variety of games, but repeating the same concept.
book ends. You have read this book before, but now there are words missing. One word has jumped off every page. Your job
This is quite different.
Yes, and
Flossie
of course,
was
yes.
plum.
So of course, we don't know. We have not read the book, but the child, when they are doing this particular program, they would have read the book already. And see how a book used in a different lesson is used here, but in a different way. So this is what repetition is, and this is not rote learning. Because oftentimes it happens that we are just, reading a book and we forget about it because we've not really understood it. And I don't know. Let's just
a lot
guess,
of
take a
participants
wild
are
guess.
saying tree.
Oh, okay. Let's just go with tree then. Yes. The
Oh,
participants
lovely.
were right. Wonderful. So
They
even
can
without
make
reading,
sentences. Yeah, they can make sentences. Lovely.
And also they can relate to the pictures. So this is
Yes.
such a power, such good power of good visuals, that even without reading the book we actually got the answer correct, right?
Brown.
So Flossie's trunk. Oh, they have already on it. Wonderful.
Oh, lovely.
That's great. So look how we are repeating the similar concepts, and let's look at this activity, what this one has to repeat.
Snowman. Drag the snowflakes with your word onto the snow. This time your word is Y.
Right. So Y, again we are doing the sound WH, and here again, oh, we have to drag from here. Oh, this is so interesting.
Eye-hand coordination and yeah.
Yeah. So I was trying to click on Y, but I actually ended up clicking on from.
Now your word is cry.
Wow. Now we have to
Cry.
find cry. So such observation skills, and again eye-hand coordination, like you're saying. So this is cry. Okay. And cry. And this will be so interesting for children that they will be, I'm sure, super engrossed.
Yes. They're
Yeah,
already enjoying. A lot of participants are.
And did you look at how the snowman is, changing? It's this.
Yes.
Yes.
Now your word is truck.
Truck. Okay. So how we are building the snowman actually? So even in the summer of Delhi, we are able to build a snowman.
Yes.
Truck. Truck. And we do this truck. And again, for the participants, understanding, we are doing the words, that we are repeating the words, but again in a very different and interesting and in a game form. And yes, we are done with our snowman. Okay, add the carrot.
Excellent.
Let's add the carrot. Okay,
And eyes.
And eyes. Oh, my snowman.
Thank you very much. I feel so
lovely.
much better now.
I feel so much better now. Even I do.
Congratulations!
Amazing, amazing.
Congratulations!
Oh, so we are getting some rewards also. Lovely.
Yes,
Children will
yes.
enjoy.
Congratulations!
And we have again, needless to say that every lesson in Reading Eggs has a,
Brad the crab.
and again, if you notice, repetition, but in a very
Yes.
interesting manner,
Brad is a crab.
right? So similar words starting with BR, CR, TR, and we have a book on that. And yes, what you're mentioning about the rewards, these reward points in the form of eggs and acorns, they actually can get redeemed in the play area in
Lovely.
different other features where we can play games and see. So there are songs, there is play area, puzzles, games, and this is where children can redeem these reward points. And we were talking about math. So yes, math is also through repetition. I'm sure teachers, parents would agree that math is about practice. And but practice again can be very interesting. Practice is repetition, another form of repetition. But again, like I said, that Reading Eggs offers such a wide range of activities, repeating the same concept very interestingly.
Yes. Or else it gets boring. If yeah,
Yes.
but here it becomes interesting. Yeah.
Definitely. And yes, let us pick a topic. I think children really face issues with area. What do you think?
Yes.
Because
Calculating the area. Yeah.
yes. So, and also these formulae, when you were talking about the theorems, so I, happened to just remember that, yes, even in the formulae that we had, even there we used to face a lot of trouble. I mean, I actually used to mug up them, but I couldn't really figure out what these formulae are. But then later,
Yeah.
when somebody explained it to me very properly, then I actually got to know that this is what a formula means. So let's just see something on area or perimeter, maybe.
Yes.
Yes. Give me a minute.
So that length into breadth or two length breadth or
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, there are cartoons.
Okay, that's
Yes.
enough banana sandwiches for the zoo today. Mrs. T's nephew Juan is the elephant keeper, and we're helping him measure up the new elephant enclosure.
That sounds exciting, Mango. What do we have to do?
Well, Waldo, it's important that elephants have enough space, so we're going to measure the perimeter.
What's a perimeter, Mango?
This piece of bread will make everything much clearer.
Yeah. So
Lovely.
yes, yes.
Why do we need a perimeter? Yes, that's
Right.
something we should know first.
Absolutely. And also we were talking about area, and
The perimeter.
even for the younger kids, area is something that is a very simple concept that can be explained through a big and a small comparison, right?
Wow! Look at this! It's my footprint! Where's yours, Waldo? Here it is, Dizzy. It looks very different to yours, doesn't it? You're right. It does.
Well, hello there, Dizzy and Waldo. I see you've been making footprints. They're not the same shape or the same area, are they?
Area? What does that mean?
Well, Waldo, area is how much space a shape covers. Look, I'll show you.
Yes, so first it is
Lovely.
through a real life
Choose Dizzy's
example.
footprint.
And I'm sure, Shreyaji, that, for area, we usually pick up very typical examples. But this is so different to explain it to the child, because the child can also just, print the palm or the foot, maybe the footprint or the palm print. And we can also relate it to that. So children are definitely going to enjoy it. And right now, let's just select Dizzy's footprint. And if people remember, Dizzy was the shorter one
Choose
Yeah.
Waldo's footprint.
and Waldo was the bigger one.
Let's see which footprint is bigger. Put Dizzy's footprint on top of Waldo's.
And let's put the footprint.
You can see that Waldo's footprint is much bigger than Dizzy's. Waldo's foot covers a larger area. Let's look at some different footprints.
and,
Choose the bigger footprint.
and again, the same concept, but through, spaced repetition, through a variety of things. And yes, small. Oops. Big
Well done. That one has a larger area.
Choose the smaller
and
footprint.
smaller now.
Yes, that foot covers a smaller area.
Choose the bigger footprint.
Right. So again, if you notice, there are such wide variety of different footprints.
Yes.
Now this is like a slipper or a shoe, and again,
Well done. That one has a larger area.
Choose the smaller footprint.
Yes, that foot covers a smaller area.
Choose the bigger footprint.
right. And again, through this, Shreyaji, don't you think that the child will also be able to learn so much about footprints? Because this looks like a horseshoe footprint, and this also looks, this looks like a chappal or a slipper footprint. So definitely through this, the children are definitely going to build a lot of different skills. And again, in mathematics, we are moving from a simpler to a more complex form, so that children are
Cover
able
the
to
plate with
understand the
squares.
concept. So moving from bigger to larger area, the comparison between big and small area, now we are moving on to actually trying to understand what area means. So the child can click on the tiles or squares and make the area.
9. Okay.
How many squares did you use? Choose the
9.
correct number.
So the child can easily count this, and we go 9.
That's right. This plate has an area of 9 squares.
Yes.
Cover the plate with squares.
Oh
So
my God, it
again-
was that simple.
Yes, it was that simple. And imagine we could actually, I could remember that, in younger classes, I would remember, okay, area of square, what was the formula? Area of rectangle, what was the formula? But if it is
Yeah.
this simple concept, we don't have to remember the formulae. We just have to, apply our logic, apply our conceptual understanding, and say that, okay, we have to cover this area. It's as simple as that.
True, true,
Right.
true. Yes.
And again, different activities here. Again, let's see what this is. And again, building on to whatever the child
Big,
already knows.
Small, Short, tall. Sort the things according to the... Sort the teddy bears from smallest to largest.
Right? And again, here if you notice that even though smallest to largest, did they say that?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And of course, they've made it kind of, for us to understand that
Yeah.
only a little one can fit here and this one can fit here.
Oh,
So
Sort
the balloons from smallest to largest.
So again, this is the concept of size, and area is about, size, actually, size of a surface.
True.
So again, repetition, but repetition in a way that gives conceptual understanding. So again, quickly, we just do this, balloons, and I'm sure children are going to love this. And
Sort the planets
I also love
from
the-
smallest to
I
largest.
also love the applause sound because it encourages me to go on further. And balloons, then bears, and then now planets. So again, subject integration is also happening very beautifully here. And okay, so let's just move on to another one.
so this is in one
Number
lesson.
grid. This is the number
Yes.
25.
Yes, all these activities again are in one lesson, the same lesson. I have not shown you different lessons. And if you see again,
That is
if
wonderful.
I just keep
I mean,
scrolling, if I keep
huge.
scrolling,
Yeah, huge.
Yes.
Yeah, the variety and quantity. Yeah, that's what children need actually. Yeah.
yes, yes. So 18 activities. And again, something very unique to this program is that we are using books in mathematics as well. Like story books or visual picture books we are using in mathematics as well. And this one is on area. So we are talking about large or small area, and see how very different examples from the real world are used here. So how much surface do they cover? How big or small is their area? So a park that the child usually sees, and a picnic rug also the child would have seen. So the comparison between a picnic rug in a park, the child can easily differentiate.
Yes.
Then door and window, what the child actually sees every day, hand or paper, and then leaves. So these are things that even during the lockdown, I think the child is able to see. Okay, parks, maybe the child is not able to go out, but the child has an understanding of parks and picnic rugs, right? So very beautifully, all these again activities are they are giving a chance for repetition. And I think most of our just participants would be wanting to know how they can access this program. So Shreyaji, if you can just share that with
Sure,
the
sure.
participants.
Definitely. Because it is something, everybody loved it and they have been asking it again and again. How could we sign up for this program? So many participants have been asking what would be the price of it after the trial period. Well, yeah, let's not wonder anymore. So when we if we wish to sign for the free trial, the steps are quite simple. We have to open on any web browser. We can open the website address https://re.rsgr.in. And then we click on the blue box that says free trial. We fill the form. If any of our Ratna Sagar executives, they are here in on Facebook Live, they could share their referral code. And if you do not know the referral code, just leave it blank. That's also okay. Submit. There would be a verification code that would be sent on the yes, we would send the verification code for verifying the mobile number. And definitely you can create your own account by using your email ID and creating your own password. Once again, it will just confirm your first and last name and your child's first name and the birth year in YYYY format. So it's as simple as that. 14 days free trial. And if you wish to buy we have this a special offer that is running today, and the special offer is only for today. So this is a special Saturday offer that we are yeah, every Saturday we have this special Saturday offer. So the maximum retail price of the Reading Eggs platform, it is suitable for pre-nursery till class 8. So yes, the entire platform is suitable for pre-nursery till class 8, and you get all the areas, all the components that Priyanka ji was showing us, all the components for maths, for phonics, for English, and of course, not to forget the library. And also there are over 5,000 worksheets too in the program. So I think even if we go to buy any number around even 50 books, that would not cost, I mean, that would cost certainly higher than the annual subscription price that we have for Reading Eggs, which is 3481. But because it's a Saturday, and yes, we get the webinar on Saturday, and we are all quite excited. So 25% discount on base price till midnight tonight. The discounted price would be inclusive of all taxes. It comes to 2611. So Priyanka ji, I think this is less than 6-7 rupees a day. Somewhere around, yeah, 6-7 rupees
around
a day.
7 rupees, yeah, 6-7 rupees. Yes.
So that's, I mean, that is it. I mean, what wonderful way to learn, and rather, I would say, relearn, unlearn, relearn, and
Yes.
increase our, yeah, definitely, you know, learn some new skills. The process is quite easy. We have to just remember the discount code RE promo 25. So the discount code is REPROMO 25. RE promo, we have to use the discount code by going to the website re.rsjr.in, click on buy now, and fill in your details, enter the discount code RE promo 25, make the payment. You'll receive a voucher code as SMS that can be redeemed in the account, the free trial account that you have created, and annual subscription would be activated. So yes, we have a school model, and yes, if any of the team, any of the teachers wish to get information about the school model of Reading Eggs, or any of the parents or children, they wish that this program should be in their school from pre-nursery till class 8, then do contact Team Ratnasagar. Please contact your school and do tell them to get in touch with Team Ratnasagar. This is a very popular program from last 15 years. It's not something that was created yesterday. So this is a program which is popular from last 15 years, and it has been you know, doing quite well all around the world. And now it is available in India, compatible with NEP 2020, and has the Indian curriculum, of course. And it helps the teachers because the teachers get ready-made PowerPoint slideshows, videos, a lot of activities which teachers can use to conduct the online sessions too. So it works as a mini LMS too there, because the teacher can assign the lesson to the children. The children complete the lesson, and then the teachers get analytical reports. They get detailed reports about the skills of children. So that is how the school model works. Any of the parents and children who have been asking continuously, can we have it in our school? Can we have it in our school? We would just say, please go ahead and contact your school. Make them contact Team Ratnasagar. We have a wonderful school model where all the children with the teachers can make Reading Eggs as their virtual school and learn English, maths, phonics with an e-library and over 5,000 worksheets. Lovely. I think this sounds wonderful. Does anyone
Definitely.
have any questions? Priyanka ji, should we ask for if anyone
Yes.
has any queries?
Yes. So most many teachers are asking that, and you've already answered that, that the free trial period is for parents, for a parent sign up. But the teachers can also view the content by signing up as a parent. And if you wish to have it in your school, definitely contact our executives, Ratna Sagar executives, or they could also email it to us on recare at ratnasagar.com, just in case you don't have any contact details of Ratna Sagar executives. And yes, somebody is asking about the package costs. Please, we will be happy to answer all your queries about the school model or how you can adopt it in the school on email or on phone. And many parents, I can see they have already registered. And yes,
Yes.
definitely. And if there are any questions, please feel free to ask them. If we have some questions on the Facebook, maybe. And yes, somebody did
Ah,
ask in between 7 to 13 years. Like Shreya ji mentioned, that this program is actually for 2 to 13 years. And in the short time of the webinar, we are able to show you limited content. So I would really urge everyone to go on and explore it for your child if the child is between 2 to 13 years.
yes. And there is someone asking if we can get the rote learning and repeated learning, just the first page of PPT. So this session is getting recorded live on Facebook. We would recommend if you could just go to www.facebook.com/ratnasagarpl. Ratnasagar PL in continuation. That would be wonderful. You can follow us on the social media platforms for updates from time to time. So definitely, I'm pretty sure that each one of us has had a lovely time, and already we have made our decision, yes, to go ahead and sign up, and not just that, but also to definitely, yes, make a purchase decision too. So like Priyanka ji was saying, in case of any inquiries, or yeah, we could get in touch with the Ratnasagar team members, or we could simply write an email to aricare@ratnasagar.com, or in fact even mention queries through WhatsApp too. So this has been a happy a happy journey for all of us. The entire 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour.
Yes,
Ji.
yes, definitely. And yes, following us on social media will also give you more updates and more information about our different programs, and of course about Reading X. We keep uploading lovely videos and even videos of children who are using this program and are very super happy about it. So do follow us on social media pages, and you can just look for Ratna Sagar on Facebook, or just go on the link that Shreyaji mentioned. And yes, this was a wonderful Saturday evening with spaced repetition and saying bye bye to rote learning. Yes,
Yes, definitely. A big bye to rote learning, and a huge welcome to spaced repetition.
repetition.
And yes, if you happen to like these webinar sessions, you can also send us your feedback, your written feedback, on the same email ID that we shared earlier. You could write your comments or feedback and send it on the same email ID, recare@ratnasagar.com. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful weekend. Please stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much, everyone. From all of us over here at Reading Eggs and Ratnasagar, Priyanka ji, we would thank.
Yes. Yeah, thank you so much for being so actively participating. And thank you for all this love and support on every Saturday. Thank you so much. And have a lovely weekend ahead.
Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, please stay happy. So, bye-bye. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See ya.
Reading Eggs is the multi-award-winning program where your child will learn to read. And it's proven to work. Used and trusted by more than 10 million children worldwide, 91% of parents report a noticeable improvement in their child's reading skills. Scientifically researched and developed by educational experts, Reading Eggs turns learning to read into a series of fun games and activities.
Welcome to Fast Phonics.